Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Life of Pi with me, your host, P. Young. And if you're new to this is a podcast about movie and television. Now, originally tonight, I was going to have a guest on. We were going to talk about all the Comic-Con, new TV show, miniseries, movie trailer releases. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to join me tonight, but that's okay. He had some stuff pop up. It's all good. So, what I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to talk about a show I've wanted to talk about for a while, just haven't had a chance to get around to it yet, which is What We Do in the Shadows. So I found this show probably about a year or so ago, and I actually am going to start talking about season 4, which is the most recent season. It started back up probably about a month or so ago. So I'm going to start with episode 1, and then we'll work our way here over the coming weeks and stuff through the end of the season. I think it's going to be 10 episodes, and they're at 6 right now. But we're going to start episode 1. And we're going to talk about it again. I love this kind of humor. I think the show is freaking hilarious. One of the writers and directors and producers is Kyle Newacek. You will recognize that name. He was an actor, director, producer on a also great comedy of Workaholics that came out a few years ago. So you recognize him from that. So this show is too damn funny. So season 4, episode 1. We have all the vampires coming back to us for season 4, which is fantastic. So this episode starts off with basically the crew showing back up at the house, and Laszlo is helping to raise baby Colin Robinson after adult Colin Robinson died in season 3. And at the end of season 3, of course, we had Nadia went off to England to work for the Vampiric Council, and Nando went off to just kind of find himself. He wanted to journey and travel. He hasn't really done that. And Guillermo got shoved into the containers across the Pacific Ocean. I think it's Pacific. I don't remember. And my geography is horrible. With Nadia. And so our camera crew finds Laszlo back home, and we see the house is in complete disarray. It's falling apart. There's holes in the floor. Raccoons have taken up a nest in the library. And of course, our opening scene is Laszlo again with baby Colin Robinson watching what I'm assuming is supposed to be like house flipper or something. He's watching two dudes flip houses and stuff. And so after that, we have the intro song, which I love. The intro song is very catchy, it's very quick, it's hilarious. And then we have knock at the door, and it is the little ghost doll, Nadia. I think that's what I can't remember what her specific title is, but I'm going to call it Ghost Doll Nadia. And we see that full-grown Nadia has come back. She wanted to surprise Laszlo, and so of course Laszlo is very excited to see her, and of course she brings with him Nando, who is back from his trip to find himself, and then we get all kinds of just hilarious images. He goes, I didn't get very far, because as I remember, he left his suitcase outside the subway station train, and he blamed Guillermo for it. And Guillermo couldn't get there to give it to him because he was shoved into a crate and shipped across the ocean with Nadia. So we get these funny images of Nando. He met this family from Wisconsin. He does this freaking hilarious accent of Wisconsin people. I won't even attempt it. They're Packers fans, of course. And he basically traveled around them to South Dakota, let's see where else he went. South Dakota, New Orleans, looks like Fresno. And then, he traveled around them, and then we find out he wanted to come back because he missed his family, because he's with that family, reminded of his family. And so we find out that he charters a boat back, like a shipping container back to the United States. And he talks about how he drained all the crew of their blood and killed all of them, and then he was stuck in the Suez Canal for a week or two, and then he finally made it back. So, and as I remember from what happened months ago, however many months ago it was, that shipping container that was clogging up the Suez Canal, I think that's how it's pronounced, And so basically they're making fun of it with Nando saying, oh, I'm responsible for it, but I don't see what the problem is. And so the next shot we get is basically like with baby Colin Robinson, we have like Laszlo doing experiments with him to see how smart he is, see if he's gonna be like grown Colin Robinson, and you see he's gonna be kind of basically an idiot. He's a child with Colin Robinson's head, so it's so damn funny. And like Laszlo talks about how there's knocking with the pipes and you can't figure out what the problem is. And then of course while Nando is telling his story, I skipped right over the part. Nando falls through when he gets home. He falls through the floor into the flooded basement with toxic chemicals right when he gets home. And then he's telling his story while Nadia and Laszlo are going at it like rabid dogs, I guess you would say, is the nicest way to put it. And of course, then they go through the floor into the basement and they're soaking wet. And Laszlo's talking about how like all these pipes have been leaking, he's been getting all these boxes for weeks and the pipes are pounding, he can't figure out what the problem is. And then of course, Nadia goes, oh, well, I have a surprise for you guys. And she pops the crate open. And who pops out? None other than Guillermo. Guillermo looks disheveled, distressed, just all sweaty and dirty. And he goes, I've been living and pounding on this crate for a week. And of course, Laszlo's like, so that's what the problem is. And so he finally figures out that there's nothing wrong with the pipes at all. It's just been Guillermo pounding, trying to get out of this crate, because he was shipped across the ocean not once, but twice in a crate. He's pissed off, and now he's like, I know what the problem is. I gave you more water, cut a bigger hole in your box for you to breathe, and extra Oreos. Like, that makes up for being shipped in basically a coffin across an ocean twice, which is, I don't know how long that'd be, about a long time, I'm assuming. And so, of course, the group doesn't really remember Guillermo, and they go, oh, that guy, because it's like a running joke, they don't remember who Guillermo is, he's just the guy that's running the house, keeps everything clean. And so while Guillermo is kind of getting all pissed off and huffy and puffy, and he falls through the floor, the same spot that Nando did. But Nando jumps in, pops back out by the other hole where he fell in it, spits out water, and then while Guillermo's getting cleaned up, Nando is like, hey, I want you to be my best man for my wedding. And Guillermo's like, oh my God, you're getting married. That's amazing. He goes, yeah. He goes, who is he? He goes, well, I don't have a bride yet. I'm just gonna find one. You're just gonna be my best man as part of your best man duties. And it's so freaking funny because, like, as we know, like, your best man duties is not to find the wife for your buddy. But like, Nando doesn't understand this. And so then we see like Nando's like being really nice to him, and then they're sitting down, they're having a nice little discussion about how they need to fix up the house, and Guillermo's like, you know, I'm not going to take the crap from them anymore, I'm going to stand up for myself, and this and that, I'm going to be a better person, and new me. He goes, but after I basically like put up baby gates and made this house not a death trap for baby Colin Robinson. And so he's there and he's like, well, they need money to fix up the house and to pay the bills. And they're like, well, baby Colin, like, well, not baby Colin Robinson, but Colin Robinson used to be in charge of all the bills and everything. So of course, they're like, well, they can just have baby Colin Robinson remember the numbers. Of course he will. So they ask him, he starts rattling off numbers, and you get like 15 minutes later, and he's just rattling off random numbers. And then we have like Nadia is like picking up raccoons, thinking it's baby Colin Robinson, and it's like a whole thing. And then they end up, towards the end of the episode, they make their way, we find out why Nadia actually came home. So there's really like a video footage of like Nadia went to the vampiric council and like found out she was kind of just there just to kind of be a nobody, and she didn't really like that. Her voice was never really heard. She wanted to open a vampiric nightclub, kind of like they had in Blade with the blood sprinklers and everything. Very specific. If you've seen Blade, you understand the reference. It's freaking hilarious. So she's very set on it, and basically the council's like, no, every new vampire that comes to the council wants to do this. We're not doing that. And so she's like, that's why I came home. And so she's like on a mission now to open a vampiric nightclub. It's an easy cash grab, super simple, something easy for them to do as a group. So she makes a point, she basically tells everybody, she has like this like loud booming voice now that kind of blows up stuff in the house, which is new and kind of cool. Basically everybody's like, okay, well, like she yells at everybody, she goes, okay, we're with you to open the nightclub. So they go over to the Vampire Council headquarters, and the guide, who I forget the actress's name, she's freaking hilarious in this role. They walk into this dusty building, looks like no one's been there in I don't know how long, and you see like, obviously like a year's gone by since they've been there. And so they walk in, they're like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I've been waiting for it. They're like, for a year? Because it's been a year. And so she throws off all the cobwebs and dust and everything off of her. And she's like, what can I help you guys with? And Nadia's like, we want to open a nightclub. They're like, where? She's like, where? And they're like, right here. And they start like, they throw a measuring tape across the table, and Guillermo's just rolling his eyes. He just knows how ridiculous the whole thing is in general. So the episode pretty much ends right after that. Like, it shoots back over to Nadia, how she talks about she's going to open a mother effing vampiric nightclub, and does a screaming boom voice thing, and stuff explodes. And that's the end of the episode. So, episode 1, it comes back. It's freaking hilarious. I haven't really watched the next few episodes yet, so like I said, I'm gonna work my way through it like you guys are with me. So hopefully you guys enjoy. This is a new little segment I'm doing. So like I said, I'm gonna cover what we do in the shadows. So I'll do that in between other like movie reviews and like TV shows and stuff like that. Again, I got the episode coming up to talk about Comic-Con trailers. So I have all kinds of like stuff lined up. So I'll be trying to do one of these every week. So I may be doing a lot of double podcast episodes, 2 per week is what I'm going to try and do. I can't guarantee it'll happen every week, but that's what we're going to try and do. So hope you guys enjoy this. Again, I love what we do in the shadows. I hope you guys do too. And these episodes with what we do in the shadows will be a lot shorter because the episodes are only like 24, 26 minutes. So a lot of these episodes are probably around 15 to 16 minutes long, which is probably about where we're at right now, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, so we're pushing 14 minutes right now. So, like I said, got a bunch of stuff coming out real soon for you guys, so hang tight. And I will talk to you all next time here at the Life of Pie. And as always, I hope you've enjoyed your slice of pie.